stuff to clean up. There we go. Better. Best? Not yet. So much clutter. Let's... Uh-oh. I'm charging the phone. Fine, we're just gonna rotate you. I got the charging cable. I can't do it wirelessly. Always wash your hands to start. But today is Sunday, the 12th, April 12th to be exact, 2020. And we're going to make, we'll try to make fried rice with either shrimp, or something, shrimp, tofu, and maybe chicken. But first things first, you gotta wash your hands thoroughly. It takes time, but of course it pays off. You don't want to be dirty while you handle your food. Okay? Doesn't matter if you use hot or cold water either. It's pretty neutral right now. Just make sure your hands are clean. Excellent. Hello there. Just washing my hands. We're gonna get started shortly. Today's recipe is gonna be fried rice. Actually, let's keep this towel on us. Let's do one more. Fold and fold. Kind of on our hip here. I'll move ya. Actually, let's move. Right now you're being charged, but I'm gonna go ahead. Unplug ya. Right now we're just at the table. Happy Easter. Happy Easter? It sounds so short. Happy Easter Sunday? Who knows? We're making fried rice, as I've said like 3 times already. Just kind of getting into the groove of things, planning it out in my head. We do have most of the ingredients prepared. And let's take it easy, you know, let's take it slow. We got plenty of time here. I want to center that. I don't like that. There we kind of go. Sure. Fried rice, shrimp, tofu, chicken. What we do have for certain, I'm a lefty, so this is going to be real awkward. Obviously we have rice. Let's just get this for posterity. We're going to have onion, garlic, ginger, more uncommon ingredient in some households. What else we got? Soy sauce. We have a cooking oil. Let's just put oil. Ooh, okay. Then we've got carrots, peas. I was gonna do broccoli, but now I don't think I will. Let's just keep it to carrots and peas. We've got egg. That's always gonna go into my fried rice. But now our options are shrimp, tofu, and chicken. The chicken, I'm thinking the shrimp will go in. Writing this all out kind of gives me a better idea. Shrimp. Oh, great. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands again. Because we're touching stuff that isn't food. Egg, shrimp. What else we got? The chicken is currently marinating right now. I know there's more to this. Is it really that, like, that's it? Fruit. Let's put, This is, I guess, for clarification, that's cooking oil. Because we do have sesame seed oil as well. Good thing I put that space there. For flavoring, you got your salt and pepper, your S and P, obviously. I think in this case it's actually going to be white. If I have enough, white pepper. Ooh, it's getting harder and harder to write. Tofu. Oh. Alright, this is kind of getting into the real nitty gritty of it, but we are going to have cornstarch involved. Sure, why not? Because that's going to go with the tofu. And I did, like, the chicken is marinating. I'm not going to include the marinade with that because, you don't really need it. What else we got? Sure, let's go with that. So, rice is the main ingredient. Saute the onions and garlic, some ginger, carrots and peas are the veg, egg and shrimp are the protein, soy sauce, oil, sesame seed oil for cooking and flavoring purposes. Additionally, salt, pepper being white pepper, and cornstarch. Coolio. Okay, so let's scoot on over. Stay hydrated, folks. I gotta wash my hands again. So I'm gonna stay right here. Got a bar of soap. I didn't have this last time. I would use like the dish soap. But I find it preferable just because I prefer the bar soap for cleanliness, and obviously it's supposed to be for your hands rather than the dish soap. But you know, whatever makes it clean. Let's start getting the ingredients out now. Yeah, that works. And I can keep you guys charging in the meantime. In the charger goes. Just chillin'. Okay. I hope everybody who's watching is having a good day. Since today is Easter, hopefully they were able to spend time with family or friends, even given the situation. You know, practicing safe social distancing or whatever. You know, just having a chill, good Sunday. So let's get some ingredients out. Got eggs and carrots, oddly put together. Tofu. Shrimp has been thawed and is in a Ziploc. Stay there. What else do we need? Ooh. What is ginger? Hi, Patty. How's your Sunday? Happy Easter, by the way. Look at this. Look at this unit. So we only need a little bit of ginger for all this, because ginger, I think, kind of goes a long way. Let's just break off a knob. Actually, no. Before we do that, lazy day, yay! It was a 3-day too, and honestly, like, this whole weekend has been pretty lazy. But I kind of needed it. I got a spoon here, and I'm going to shave off the portion of ginger that I'll be using, and then I'll just kind of snap it off. But if you just scrape with a decent amount of force, you can actually peel the garlic without really tearing into the flesh of it. You can just tear off the skin. It comes off pretty easily. See, just kind of go over it. It's already coming off. So I'm probably going to get this knob off here. I'm hoping this turns out well. I haven't made fried rice so officially in a while. Like, I've kind of just I have old rice and then let's just fry it and then add egg. But I haven't gone like this far with it in quite some time. And I think the last time I did make it, it was just okay. But the trick, or one of the tricks I should say, to good fried rice is of course the rice itself, but more in particular, having the rice be dry and kind of old. So I've got 1 day old rice and maybe 2 day old rice in the fridge, and it's nice and cold. It's gotten a lot of the moisture removed. Right now I'm just sharpening that, or excuse me, not sharpening it, just straightening the knife. I'll take a chunk off here that I went ahead and peeled, like just with a spoon. I got a pretty good amount off, I'd say. I mean, yeah, it's pretty clean. So keep your workstation clear. Yep. I'll toss that. Got my trash back. Last time it was against the wall. That's kind of weird. Cool. Okay, ginger goes back in the fridge. Did you do anything this 3-day weekend, Patty? This goes down here like so. And then in the meantime, we could chop this. Cause I could, oops, this one piece. We can chop it up into like kind of julienne slices, or I think I'm gonna grate it. Nothing. Just TV and housework. That's pretty much the same here, except replace TV with computer. Just playing video games, or I watch a little bit of Disney Plus. Housework, nah, I was slacking. I barely cleaned. We're gonna go ahead and grate this already. Let's get ready for that actually. Should have plate. There we go. Oh, we did play Jackbox. That was fun. And I like being able to do that with everybody. I know it might be hard to set up sometimes, but I'm glad Jordan has the ability to, well, he's got all the games pretty much. So props to Jordan and everyone who makes it out there. Yeah, you were there. And then everyone else that was playing Jackbox. It was so weird. What was that, Friday night? Obed messaged us saying, hey, we're gonna play at 9. And then another group, another Linebarger group was like, hey, we're playing Jackbox, join here. And then my friend from Florida was like, hey, do you wanna play Jackbox later? I'm like, why does everyone wanna play Jackbox? Is it the same, like one big group? I was so confused. But in the end, I had fun. And we stayed up pretty late too. Okay, so I've got the grated ginger here. That's about, I actually don't even know. Not gonna pretend like I know. Set that aside. We're gonna have the ginger aside. That's gonna go into the pan with the probably onions and garlic. Shrimp, let's handle the shrimp right now. So I'm gonna put that aside too. And we'll go back to, actually no, let's finish, gosh, so many steps. Let's do the onions and garlic. So these are probably the best flavor enhancers and just ingredients, in my opinion, that you can have in a dish. Onion and garlic, classic. We're gonna go with 2 cloves of garlic, but they're pretty hefty size. They're pretty fat. Whoops. Good for your sanity. Exactly. That's why we wanted to do these. Just kind of have everyone come together on Sundays. But I know people are busy, so I'm not gonna bother them too much. But it was a place to kind of just hang around and talk about whatever, talk about food. Although it wouldn't be like a call of sorts, it would just be everyone hanging here in a stream. But even if even if we don't get to really hang out in the stream, I just wanted to share what I was making every Sunday. Because I do like cooking and I like talking to you guys, so why not combine them? I was just smashing the garlic here. We want to get the cloves out of the skin. And now I'm actually going to mince these. This one I kind of bruised too much. That broke apart. But yeah, Jackbox is super fun. I like all the packs that they have too, and they keep coming out with more. Let's cut that and that. Just cut the bottoms of those two. There we go. So in order to, let's move this stuff out of the way. Let's get you a little bit closer. Yeah, that's better. I think that's better. Mincing garlic. Let's do the the intact clove. Taking a clove, setting it on a flat area. Okay, it's a little smashed. And then pinching your knife so that it's stable. Just kind of make slits from the top to the bottom of the garlic clove. But don't cut all the way through. So from the top, you don't want to cut from the top all the way down. Start a little bit lower so that it doesn't cut all the way through. And then go slice all the way to the bottom. You're kind of left with strips. And just be careful how you cut it. Then turn it sideways so that you're going to cut perpendicular to your first cuts. And carefully make your cuts. I'm not looking for anything too precise with this, because I'm just going to go over it again. So honestly, I could have just done chunks. So I'll just go quick here. I'm not keeping my workstation clear either. We're almost done here. So first one way, but not all the way through the clove. Then turn it sideways. Okay, and now that I've got a big knife too, the chef's knife, I can just kind of rock it back and forth and finely chop these. Alternatively, I could have done strips of garlic. I could have run it through the garlic press. Or I could have just done smashed garlic, but I don't think that when you do smashed garlic in something, it's generally for something where you're not going to eat that garlic because it's still in like one huge piece or like pieces. Happy Easter! Yay! Glad you could make it. How's your weekend going? Hopefully well, too. It's a 3-day weekend. It's chill. Don't have to go anywhere, although I did go to my parents Friday. Stopped by, did some laundry, and just ate dinner with them. And then Sunday, today, I just got back from their house. I got a haircut. Oh yeah, that's right. And picked up a few things. So that's a good amount of garlic. But I like garlic in my dishes. Cool. Be very careful. Alright. Let's give our hands a quick wash. The garlic is a little sticky. That's all the juices from it. So a quick wash never hurt. And now, let's do, say, we'll see how much this onion yields. So when you cut an onion, and I'm doing diced onion in this case, there's the, I believe this is the bottom, and the top half. We keep the bottom half because it holds all of the onion together. This is how I do it. So we're going to chop the top first. Just a little. That's trash. And then we're going to cut the whole thing in half. Okay. And half to the side here. Great. Right now we're, oh, since you just tuned in, or I don't know, whoever's tuned in just now, we're going with our fried rice recipe, and I think we're gonna go with shrimp fried rice, but we might have some chicken on the side and perhaps some fried tofu as well. So right now I'm just kind of prepping more ingredients. This onion's a little funny though. It's got some of the skin on the inside. Okay. Yeah, right here, that's a little weird. I think it might be a little old, so I'm just gonna go ahead and shave that off. Okay, now we got a workable onion. Woo! And it's starting to make me tear up a little. One thing you can do to prevent that is either keep the onion cold and also wash or wet your knife a little before you proceed to cut. At least that's what I've heard. So we're gonna dice the onion. Again, it's gonna be similar to the garlic. So first, vertical cuts, not from all the way from the top, but kind of almost all the way from one side. Hope you guys can see that. And we'll keep them kind of big. I don't want it too small on the dicing. So let's do about 2/3 of this. Or we'll cut it all, but we'll just not use all of it when it comes to pouring it into the pan. So I'm not really holding the onion the correct way. Okay, but I've got my vertical cuts, but they don't reach the top, so I can still hold it from where the root of the onion bulb is, and it kind of displays like that. But now turn it sideways, do that, and then just go again. I'm pinching or squeezing the onion a little bit together, not too much force, holding it on top and away. Even cuts, and you let the knife do the work. And just like so, you too can have perfectly diced onion. Results may vary. Yeah, this onion was a little old though. I don't know. Okay, so that's our onion. Get more of this stuff. Bleh. That's a little unnerving. Still good though. Okay. So most of this is gonna go in the pan at the same time, so I'm not too worried about mixing these ingredients together. This is onion, garlic, and ginger all together. I grated the ginger, diced, or kind of minced the garlic, not too finely, and then we've got diced onion just now. There we go. I'm gonna preheat the pan too. I've got a pretty big saucepan. This is as big as I can get. Stainless steel, but stuff tends to stick to stainless steel, and the trick to not having it stick is either using higher heat or a lot of like oil. And since we're making fried rice, which does kind of require a lot of oil, this stainless steel should do the trick. And it's also as big as I can do without being like a huge pot. But on the stove it goes, medium-ish, medium-high heat. We've got our shrimp here. I'm gonna go ahead and now prep that, put that to the side. These we're just going to take the tails off. I already peeled, no I didn't peel these guys. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna take off, I do not have a wok. My dad does, but that would require a gas burner, which I don't have, and I'm not about to buy one and then like cook on my balcony. If I was ever to get like a grill that I could keep in my apartment and then just grill on my balcony, that'd be pretty cool. But woks are way too big. But when you get a good wok going, ooh, the possibilities are endless when it comes to the recipes you can make on that. Fried rice for one of them. All those like recipes that guy would cook back in the when we would eat in the office and that cooking show was on, or that Chef John, that Asian guy, would just go ham. He'd cook whatever he wants on that thing and it would just turn out super great. Bam, yeah, exactly. Emerald Lagasse would approve. Oh, we just got a tail here. That's kind of weird. In you go. So I'm just taking off the shell and the tail from all this. Basically everything that you don't eat. These were already deveined. Well, I say that as I see one with a vein. Well, I guess it's an example. Ew, yeah, you don't want to eat that. It's not really a vein. It's like a digestive tract. So basically poop. But yeah, you don't want that. That's not good eats. But most of these, as I'm going through them, are deveined or cleaned out, I should say. They've got their the top of the shrimp kind of split open already. So again, just kind of getting these ready. It's not a lot of shrimp. It's like 12, I think. I did thaw out like 24 of them, but I cooked the other 12 into tempura, and that was kind of just a test run. It turned out okay, but where did I get the shrimp from? Just H-E-B in the frozen section. Actually, yeah, and it's the one by work too. If you go in, it's all the way on the right, just before the meats, like the chicken. Oh wait, no. 1604. Gosh, it's been a while. Been a while since I've been to H-E-B. Frozen food section. No. Meat section. Yes. But actually, yeah, it's right by the frozen seafood section, which is near the produce and all that stuff. This one. Raw large shrimp. It's already deveined. Shell is on. We peeled that, and it was easy to peel. There are sizes. This says large, but the way they measure shrimp is shrimp per pound. So generally you'll look for, this is like 30, 40 or something shrimp. I think that's how they measure or like weigh their shrimp and all that stuff. Near fresh, yeah. Near fresh seafood. So we're good with these, and I'll get a bowl for them, right? Yes. I got a bowl here. I'm gonna wash my hands for real. We're gonna add salt and pepper to that, and just set that aside. And then we do have carrots and eggs there. The carrots are fresh, but the peas I'm gonna use are frozen, and really frozen peas are perfectly fine for using in recipes. Nobody's gonna knock you for using fresh peas, and honestly, frozen peas taste just fine. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Salt and pepper, that's right. The onion, or the pan is still preheating, so we're good there. So I've got a little salt and pepper. I'm just gonna use that spoon to mix it once this is done. Always salt your foods, your individual components, but don't over salt it. And one thing you should always be doing when you can, as you're cooking, is you salt to taste, and that means kind of you salt it and then you taste it. And if it's to your liking, the taste is to your liking, then you're good. But always taste your food. But I can't do that because, you know, raw shrimp. So when you can do it, then yes. Okay, let's Set that aside too now. We do have some more time. We've got some aromatics, that's the onions, garlic, and ginger. We've got the shrimp sitting, the egg, and the carrots. Now I'm gonna get tofu. I'm gonna get one of these. This is hard tofu. You can get it at HEB, just like I did. I'm gonna set it here. I know that's shrimp on it, but we're gonna cook it all anyways. And I do wash this board, just to be safe. Of course, always wash your cooking surfaces. But we're gonna do, actually, I could do cubes or I could do slices. Let's do both. So let's cut this in half first. Great. And now I'm gonna cut this in half. And I'm gonna leave those two just as is. And then this one, I'm going to cut this way. So that's also in sort of a sheet pattern. And then I'm going to dice it. So that's not too small, but not too big either. I think I can get away with 4 here. There we go. Sideways. We're doing a lot of dicing here. And the reason why I'm doing it is that so they can cook kind of evenly. And I don't have to gauge the size. Plus it's an easy cut. Just letting the knife do the work. I know the pan is still preheating, but we should be getting there shortly. So that's diced tofu. And for that, we're going to dip all the tofu in cornstarch. And salt and pepper as well. And we're going to fry those. So those are going to be separate from, yeah, I think that they're going to be separate from the rice. At the very least, these two are, because these are just like tofu sheets. I've got cornstarch here. Be careful with this stuff because it kind of, yeah, it just kind of goes everywhere. Okay. Always seal it back or else it'll poof everywhere because this stuff is really powdery. Awesome. We're gonna add salt and pepper to that as well. Just kind of eyeballing it too. And then pepper. I like a little pepper in my tofu words. Give it a good mix and then we'll dip them. So the cornstarch is going to give the tofu a crispy exterior as it fries. Whoops, see, I just kind of poofed it everywhere. I think I'll just work with the one tofu sheet or tofu block. I've got another one here I'll save for later. We also have chicken, which I think I'm also going to dip in the cornstarch. This is chicken thigh and I was marinating it earlier. So we gave this a good mix. So this, I think we're done cutting. Yes. So we've got, okay, I'm crowding everything up right now. Hold on a minute. Perfect. Whoa. Just drop these in slowly. Because it will splash everywhere, just as I say that. And then just give these a good toss. I'm not worried about my hands getting dirty. I do my best to wash them in between. We're just giving these a nice coating, really quick. And I like grab a few, kind of shake them. Shakes the excess off. And move that to the side. A couple more. Shake. And set aside. We're gonna set them aside for a few minutes just so the cornstarch adheres better to the tofu. If you do it right away, the cornstarch kind of falls off straight into the oil when you fry them, and then it just kind of ruins the oil. And of course, you don't get as crispy an exterior from the cornstarch on the tofu. So final shake here. Just a quick way to do that. Then we've got our slices. Press. And don't forget to get all the sides. And 1, 2. Oven, or sorry, I keep saying oven when I mean stove, and if I say oven and don't catch it, just know I mean stove for the most part. Unless we bake cookies, because that's actually the oven. Or like roast chicken. So cornstarch is still here. Oh, that's a cube. Straggler. Okay. Yes, I am going to coat the chicken. This is chicken thigh again, and they're all kind of stuck together, but I cut these earlier and marinated them. So these can go in. Again, cornstarch will give it a sort of crispy exterior. I'm gonna go ahead and pinch them out one at a time. I kind of did 1-inch pieces, 1-inch cubes here, but they might not all be like that. Again, you're shooting for consistently shaped or sized pieces while you cook, so that they all cook evenly. Getting kind of messy. Let's get a few more in. It's a super messy kitchen area. Cornstarch goes everywhere. It's kind of annoying, but it makes a world of difference when you use it while you fry. Let's move these. Okay, you want to make sure you get all the crevices with the chicken. Tofu is really easy. It's got a nice uniform shape, but with chicken might not be so much. And you could have put this in like a plastic bag and kind of like shake and bake style or whatever. But I always just use a saucer to get all the cornstarch. That way I can just kind of visually see it all and then work with my hands on this. I don't mind getting my hands dirty either for this. Okay, we're doing a little bit more here. And keep going. Chicken is kind of gross to look at when it's not cooked, but that's okay. Keep going. Okay, we're basically done here. These are for the most part. I'm not trying to be too exact, but these do look pretty coated. And I'm kind of pressing the cornstarch in a little just so it sticks better. And of course, I'm gonna let these all sit so we get a better result. Okay. So, yeah, I'd say we're done with this. Give our hands a good wash now. Since I'm done with that cornstarch, I might do something with that actually. Give my hands a good wash. I hope everybody's taking care of themselves, even as they stay at home, you know, doing a little bit of stretching or exercising, eating well, trying my best not to be a couch potato on the weekends, but it could be better. You know, it could be worse, but it could be better. But I do see people when I am driving, I do see people like walking either with their dogs or with other, I guess like a friend or family, and or biking. And I was like, are bike trails still open? Is that essential? Who knows? So we've got our pan hot here. I'm just gonna check it really quick and then add some oil too. So I just added some oil to the pan. It looks pretty hot, and I do have a measure thing. I'll bring you guys over in a sec. Just gonna get a reading on this. Yep, pretty hot. Oh yeah, that's pretty hot. Okay. 370. Ideally, you don't want your oil to be too hot. So I've got a little bit of extra here. Alright. And this is always a finicky part when I cook. You guys are going to be taken off the charger now. Let's see if I can get this going. Yes? No? Wait. Does that look good? Sure. It's probably gonna sizzle. This is too hot. So I'm gonna take it off the heat. That's all you gotta do if it's too hot. Take it off, or you could add more oil, but there comes a point where you could have like too much. This is definitely really hot. I don't remember my stove even getting this hot, so I'm in shock right now. What the heck? Okay, maybe I preheated it a little too long. You live and you learn. If it's too hot, the outsides of the food are obviously going to burn, but also the insides tend to not cook all the way through. So you're kind of left with two wrongs and nothing right. I'm gonna get a plate going with a paper towel on top of it, and that's gonna be our drain area for the tofu. We're gonna cook that first and then set it aside while we work on everything else. But again, I'm kind of just letting this cool down a little because that was way too hot. We want about 350, and all right, we're definitely getting back to that as it creaks with intense heat. Okay, yeah, so we're right about there right now. So I'm gonna go ahead with the tofu. Oh shoot. So the cubes are gonna be kind of hard. Let's use a cute Mickey Mouse spatula. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a few of these. Okay, get it on the spatula. And let that do its thing. Do a little more. Scoop them in. Let's do all of them. This pan is big enough to fit all of them in. So we're good here. And these have been waiting a little bit, so the cornstarch should stick fairly well. You don't want to overcrowd it or else the oil temperature will drop, but I think everything should balance out with how hot it was and with everything going in. It's not like the tofu was too cold either, so we don't expect a huge temperature drop. And we're going to let these kind of cook on all sides until they get nice and gold and crispy. Yum. Hopefully this won't take too long. I kind of just winged the recipe for this. I haven't even gotten to the rice part yet, but as that cooks, and I can just kind of let that sit. Let's talk about rice. Again, I mentioned earlier, for fried rice, you want dry rice, preferably older. I've got like 2-day-old rice there. White rice, just plain and simple. And then the reason why you want the dry rice is that when you cook it in or like a fry pan like this, you want it to be dry and not have moisture, or else it won't really absorb the ingredients as well. That's one thing, like the texture of it. And having dry rice in this fry kind of environment, like recooking it, rehydrates the rice. So you don't want to use the wet rice, like fresh wet rice, if that makes any sense. But just kind of trust me on that. That's pretty much every recipe for fried rice says, yeah, you're going to want to use dry, older rice. So these are starting to get a little bit golden, or like toasty. So I'm okay with that. can crank the heat up just a little. I hope you guys can see that. That might be a little bit too bright. That's better? That's better. No, I like the middle. Let's get you a little bit closer. There you go. But I can't really see chat this way, but that's okay. Again, we're looking for like a golden texture. It should take a few minutes. Tofu, hard tofu like this, especially when you cut it, cooks relatively quickly. And it's not like you can really undercook it. I mean, you can, but you can definitely overcook it. I think in summary, it's very lenient as to how long you can cook this tofu for. In fact, while I let those sit and crisp up a little, let's go ahead and get the planks going. These ones are going to take more time, so actually I might have should have probably done those first. And I just lay them in with my hands, but I do lay them away from me so that the oil doesn't splatter on me. And you know the drill when oil splatters on you. It hurts a lot. And it catches you off guard, and you reel back with your hand, and you don't have a good time. These are coming along. I can tell they're getting a little crispy just as I touch them. They've got that like crispy shell on the outside forming. But I'm trying to just rotate them a little so we get all sides nice and golden and cooked. Whereas these ones, I'm just gonna let them sit on one side, then flip, say in 2 or 3 minutes. So I think the game plan here is tofu, chicken. We'll see how much oil we have in the pan, and then we'll go egg, shrimp, aromatics, rice, and so on. I'm actually gonna get something going here. So we have our rice, and I'm gonna let these sit. Borrow you guys. Rice is there. We've got this regular soy sauce here, and I also have sesame seed oil. And then it called for 2 types of soy sauce. One was a dark soy sauce, that's regular, as far as I know. So this was the soy sauce, but I went ahead and I reduced it with some brown sugar to kind of get a more dark soy sauce texture, and those two will have different flavors. This one is more, not to say super salty, but more salty than this one, and this one is a reduced or more refined flavor with the brown sugar added. And the brown sugar added the molasses back to the soy sauce, which kind of makes it more like dark soy sauce. In any case, you need regular soy sauce, and I've got this other stuff here too. Just something to try out. And then we have sesame seed oil for a little bit of extra taste. And right now the tofu is cooking along. Let's give these a good mix. Kind of hard to like hold the camera and also stir this. Again, I have you guys on like a selfie stick. That's how I've been using to record all these. And it's got like a tripod on it. Like, let's see if I can. Ooh. Fixed position. That's cool. No, that's not working. Okay. Anyways. Let's hold you right here for now. I think one side of these tofu slabs should be done. So we're gonna go ahead and take a spatula. Ooh, okay, I gotta be careful with this. Ah! Flip with conviction. Okay. You can't be scared while you cook. I mean, yeah, you can't be scared. The food will sense your fear, and the oil will just splatter on you because it knows you're scared. But you can't be scared when you flip. Just like when you flip pancakes or, you know, toss the pan to whatever, be fancy and all that. No. Take charge, take a deep breath, and just flip it, yo. Okay. But anyways, those are flipped. And you can kind of see the difference in the color there. So now the bottom side's going to cook nicely while this side has been nice and toasty and gold. These should be just about done. So I'll let those do their thing. I can turn the heat up just a little again. I might actually take these out. So even if they're not the crispiest, I do like a little bit of that exterior on the hard tofu. And the reason you pick hard tofu, again, is so it can keep this form. Soft, silky tofu, as they kind of call it, breaks apart and is better for like desserts and things. Or maybe like soups, where it can kind of just flow about. But you want hard, firm, or rather extra firm tofu in this case, to kind of get this diced consistency. I think we're done with these now, so I'm going to go ahead and scoop a little shake, and onto there. And keep going. So these had cornstarch and salt and pepper, just something very simple. Bite-sized pieces, you can put them in your rice. You can eat them as a snack. Drizzle some vinegar, drizzle some sesame seed oil or soy sauce, whatever you want. It's your food. Well, not these, but you know, if you ever do decide to make it. And tofu is pretty cheap. I'd say less than $5 for the 2-pack of tofu, and this is the 2-pack including like 2 blocks of all this. This was all 1 block, but I don't know the pricing for sure, so don't quote me on that. It's definitely cheap enough for a non-meat source of protein, but of course beans, fish, if you can eat that. What else? Mostly beans and fish, and then of course tofu, soybeans, and then the fake like seitan or tempeh, I think is called. Those are our alternative meat protein sources when you can't eat meat. Anyways, we'll give these a little bit longer. What else we got? Again, tofu's going, chicken's ready to go. I've got a frozen bag of peas. A bag of frozen peas? Yeah, a bag of frozen peas. Egg and carrots. Oh, and my aromatics. These are delicate when they cook, especially the garlic. You don't want that to burn. Fish are friend. Exactly. Well, fish are food. I can't deny that. Imagine not liking sushi. Sorry to those that don't like sushi, but you're missing out, you know? And sure, you can eat the tamago, the egg, on rice wrapped in seaweed, but I don't know, you're just missing out. Fish is so good, and sushi's so good. Food is so good. Anyways, I'm going on. No, I'll keep going. I don't want to watch tofu, just kind of chill here. I don't really need to cook the sides because they're relatively thin. Plus, it'd be hard to like stand these. But fish are friends and food. You can keep them as pets, you can have them as friends, or you can eat them. I mean, come on, like tuna, salmon, hello, tilapia, shark, sure, or like octopus and squid too. Okay, so we still got some oil in the pan, probably a little more than I'd like. Let's let this oil reach a temperature that I'm okay with. All right, we definitely need this to be higher. I think that's probably why the tofu could be a little bit crispier. That's very crazy though, because I've got these the dial style burners, and like the difference between 5 and like 5.5 is like 60 degrees. How am I supposed to be that exact? Okay, there we go. So we kind of want 350, and we're just about there. So put this aside, give it a second, and we're gonna go with the chicken now. So I think the tofu and the chicken will be on the side. Let's keep this going. They've sat long enough. I could use tongs for this, but I'm just gonna use the Mickey Mouse mini spatula. Thank you to Mom for giving me this. I do have a bigger one. It's not just that weird mini one. Red and black, baby. It's cute. I use it sometimes. But for that application, it was perfect. So, okay, I'm gonna put you guys down for this because I want to use both hands for the chicken. Nope. There we go. Anyways, what am I saying? Okay, break them apart. Let them cook about 350 degrees for just a few minutes. Dark meat. This was thigh meat that I deboned and then took the skin off. You can buy it boneless and skinless already, but I do preserve those bones and the skin, or at least the bones, if I want to make a broth. But dark meat in particular over white meat in chicken tends to be juicier and has more flavor. It doesn't dry out as bad, and it's more lenient when it comes to cooking it. So we'll let these cook on one side and give them all a little flip. Try not to play with them too much. And since I let the cornstarch kind of soak up with the chicken, it's not coming out so much and you don't really see it in the oil. It's either here and there, but you know, it's a lot better than just going straight from chicken into cornstarch and then straight into, like, shake it off and put it in here. A lot of the cornstarch doesn't stick. Okay, this is starting to spatter a little. It's because the chicken was in a... Ow. The chicken was in a wet marinade. It was like soy sauce, sesame seed oil, salt and pepper, tiny pinch of cornstarch and baking soda. That helps with the texture. But since they were in a wet moisture, and obviously water or moisture and oil don't get along very well, that's when the bubbling starts to form. So again, it's even more violent when it's a high heat, or you're obviously cooking or frying with something that has a lot of moisture in it. Let's give that a flip. Let's give them a flip now. So they're kind of a light brown right now. Okay, I gotta use two hands. But yeah, it's starting to spatter because of the wetness that is the chicken. But I needed to keep them in a wet marinade to develop the flavor and keep them tender. That one's getting a nice golden color. More sizzling oil. This is really hard to do by holding a camera in one hand. Okay, I think we're good. Good, excellent. I gotta put you guys down. Right here it'll do. Nope. Ooh, wow. Definitely got on my arm a tiny bit. So these are definitely frying up real nice. And you can kind of see the crust is starting to form. You get a little bubbly on the outside. That's a nice crispiness when they cool down. You kind of can't tell how crispy something will be just as it comes out of the stove. But as it cools, the crust tends to form better. So you just got to give it a minute, be patient. And this is really spattering. Ooh, owie. Okay. But I think we're just about good here. So I'm going to go ahead and take them out. And if it seemed a little light on this side, just move these a little. If it seemed a little light on the cooking, please. That's because I'm going to cook them again, I think, to kind of develop a better crust. So keep these in here. We're going to drain the excess oil off on the paper towel. This is really inefficient. And last one. Okay. So spattering aside, I've got a little bit of a break. Okay. Let's get another plate going. We're done with this cornstarch pad. Got another plate. And this will be for the eggs. We're gonna give the chicken a little bit of time to rest and relax. I've got, do I want 1 or 2 eggs? Let's just do 1. I don't want too much egg in my rice. Get a fork. I'm going to pre-whisk the egg so it's scrambled. And I almost forgot the shrimp. That needs to cook too. Give me a moment. Quick moment. Okay, I've got a bowl here. And then, oven, or gosh, keep doing that. Crack the egg into the bowl. Great, toss the shell. Give it a good mix. And this should fry nice and quick. So I gotta be careful with this one, especially with the heat of the oven. Stove. Okay, we'll use the same spatula here. So this is pretty hot. I'm gonna let's take a dip of the egg and see how that goes. No? Whoa. Okay, that works. Okay. Plenty of oil. Put the bowl down. That's nice and frothy. Okay, so egg cooks relatively quick, especially when you whisk it like that. So I'm just breaking it up right now. It's off the heat too, because it's essentially done. Really high heat for the egg, so it cooks quickly. Just breaking it apart here, and then it did soak up a lot of the oil too. That's okay. Okay. And I see what that did there. And that's perfect for our rice. Yeah, I don't want to use a lot of egg. I could have done 2, but I think 1 is fine. We'll give this time to set and rest. So we're getting there. It's a lot of actually like individual steps for the rice, but once it comes together, let me tell you, it comes together. Scoop. Okay, that's our egg on the side. Break that a little more. Nice and fluffy too. Oil is still nice and hot. Let's add a little bit of oil at the bottom. Let's now do the shrimp. We'll get those cooking. Those should cook nice and quick too. Let's go ahead and add that in. You don't want to overcook these either, or else they turn all hard and rubbery. And again, good amount of oil keeps them from sticking. I'm gonna switch. I'm going to switch tongs just so it's easier to handle. Again, these shouldn't take too long. Okay, give them a flip. Okay, they're coming along nicely. And I just want them to turn color and not be clear at all. But don't cook too much longer than that, or else they will start to overcook and turn all chewy and blah. So, yeah, we're definitely getting there already. Okay. Maybe I'm going to move into the sides where the pan is less hot. And I don't know if you can see this. Yeah. So just giving them a tiny bit longer. And yeah, you don't want them to curl up too much, so I think we're good there. It was pretty quick, but again, they're not clear anymore. And I'm giving it just a little bit longer so they can cook on the inside. Perfect. So we'll take these out. Let them rest. Okay. Whew, a little smoky. All right, we're almost done here. Let's crank up the heat a little bit. Add more oil. And this is going to be the second fry for the chicken. When you second fry something like chicken with the cornstarch, it gets rid of more of the moisture and gives the outside like a even crispier crust. But you don't want to do that with everything. Chicken, like the dark meat, can handle it because of the leniency in the cooking time. But something like, say, fried shrimp probably wouldn't do so well because the shrimp is a more delicate meat. So we'll let this get up to heat because I just added like room temp oil. So yeah, we'll give that a few minutes, or not too long this time. Last time I did that, no bueno. What else is there? So yeah, it's actually a lot longer than I thought, but I'm okay with that. We'll get this going and we'll have a nice fried rice dinner to have. Hopefully enough for more than just one night. I think so. This is how much rice I have. It's about 1.5 cups, or maybe 2 cups of uncooked rice turns into, I don't even know how much cooked rice, but a lot more. All the rice tends to fluff up, expand, kind of like pasta, you know. You can't measure uncooked pasta to cooked pasta. Different kinds of measurements, you know the drill. It's definitely not hot enough, but we're getting there. We're definitely getting back there. One thing I do like about cooking, not the cleanup, but one thing I do like about the cooking is the kind of the balance between the science behind it. You know, you're seeing all the ingredients come together, and oh, when you add this to that at this point, this happens. All the reactions and stuff. Or I'm reading that book, The Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, and it explains a lot of the behind the scenes, the know-how of cooking. So I really like the science of that, but it's also like a perfect blend of the science and the art of cooking, where it's like, come on, you get raw ingredients, your vegetables, your proteins, your grains, and all that stuff, and then you like a symphony of flavors and all that stuff, and you get dishes like fried rice, sushi, pizza, burgers, all that stuff, and it's so cool. So it's like the perfect blend of being productive, kind of practicing a skill, a useful skill, and of course having fun with the art of it and the science of it, learning. And it can be as inexpensive or as expensive as you freaking want. But it's something lovely. So, little rant over. Let's see. The oil heating break. Let's see where we're at. We want this to be hotter than the normal temperature. Ironic, because before we didn't want it so hot. Okay. Okay, yeah, we should be good here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add the chicken back, give him one more quick cook coating or cook time on the even hotter pan. And that'll get them nice and crispy. Ooh, ow. And as it bubbles like this, that means the moisture is leaving the chicken, but not in a bad way, but in like a more crispiness kind of way. Again, the dark meat is still really tender even after this double cooking method. So we just want to develop a crust on these. Okay. Awesome. So they're getting even crispier, but I can't really tell until they come off the heat. But they are getting a nice, even darker brown color, which I do want to see as well. And then, if I could pick this up. Yeah. Definitely getting better. So we should be good here. That was about a minute on a higher heat. Take it off, drop them off, and repeat. Okay, so now we're reaching the end game. What has been your worst cooking disaster? Ooh, that's a tough one. There's plenty of stuff I don't want to have to recall. One time I super undercooked cookies, and then I tried cooking them again, but their temperature wasn't brought up and they fell through the wire rack as I cooked and then cooled them. So that was like a melty cookie mess. That was pretty bad. Cooking with stainless steel is still really hard for me because if you don't do it right, it will stick to the pan. My first time cooking in this apartment, I was talking to the others about that. I made like a mush of like rice and I don't even know, chicken or something, but it turned into like a porridge when I wanted it to be all dry, and that was it looked unappetizing and it tasted meh, could have been better. Cooking meat. So I've had a repertoire, I don't know how to call it, but I've been known to undercook meat, not dark meat, I'm pretty good with that, but like chicken breast, especially on the stove. So when you cut it and it's like, nope, or like a thicker cut of steak or something along those lines, beef, forget it. Because I'm terrified of overcooking, so I undershoot. And then, you take it off the heat and it cooks a little longer. You'd think, oh, okay, well, the remaining heat will cook off the inside. No, it doesn't do that. Not all the time, at least. I got a good amount of oil here. I'm gonna add, so we're gonna start with the vegetables now. But those are just some of them. don't know if I can recall any others off the top of my head, but that's a good amount of them. This is kind of a lot of oil, so I am gonna go ahead and take some off. I don't want too much this time. Kind of just enough to cover the bottom, but that one was a little excessive. So we've got our carrots here now. Those go in. Carrots are nice and hearty, so they can take a good amount of time to cook off. Kind of brings out the flavor in the carrots too. As you heat up a carrot, the sugars inside are released, and you get that sweet carrot flavor, which I do want to taste a little bit of. But these should cook quickly since they're nice and diced. Next, we'll probably go in with the aromatics. That's ginger, onion, garlic. No, ginger, garlic, onion. Yes, that's better. I want to be careful with this because these are easier to burn. So maybe I'll go with turn down the heat just a little. We'll go with the garlic already. Nope, sorry, ginger. This is minced ginger. Okay. Then all of the garlic. And then most of the onion. I don't want all of it. Okay. Let's focus again. Okay, that smells amazing right now. Whenever you saute onion or garlic, it just smells amazing in the house. I don't know about you. So that's cooking nicely. Let's add... I should have cut this bag open. That's sauteing nicely. Frozen peas straight in. I'm just gonna eyeball this as well. Kind of match the proportion of carrots, but I always like a little bit more peas in mine. Whoops. Then give that a mix. So that's coming together. And what it's kind of doing as well as all of these ingredients release their moisture is they're deglazing the pan, which gives me all that flavor that we cooked all this other stuff in, like the shrimp, the egg, the chicken as well. It's deglazed it, and now it's all back into these ingredients, which we can then add our rice. Finally, right? Let's raise you guys a little bit. Cool. And we'll go. I like to break up the rice a little because it's easier to work with before it reaches the pan. We'll go ahead and slowly put that all in. I kind of pre-measured the carrots and onion and garlic. Well, not pre-measured, but I knew how much rice was in this pot. You just kind of eyeball it, you know. You get a sense of it after you cook enough times. So we'll give that a good mix. And then we're going to start with a drizzle. Just, say a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of soy sauce. Okay, just enough to kind of touch the color on the rice. Give that a mix. And even though the rice was dry from before, all the moisture from the onions, the garlic, the peas, the carrots, the oil rehydrates the rice, so it starts mixing really well. And see, that's a good amount of peas for me. I do like quite a large amount in every bite. That's just me. One of my favorite vegetables. Sure. Greens. Okay, but it's still a little light. We're gonna add the dark soy sauce that I made earlier, so it's a little bit thicker. Okay, it's pretty thick. Again, that's... Whoa, boy. Alright, come on. Come on. It's the regular soy sauce, as well as brown sugar and water, and it was reduced to further enhance the flavor and kind of thicken it. Okay, we're almost done. We'll just do a few drops of sesame seed oil. Not too much, this stuff goes a long way. And we're gonna add the shrimp and eggs back in. Cool. So that really comes together at the end. And like I said, the pan was deglazed, so nothing's really sticking to the bottom here. Of course, was it a good amount of oil? Yes, but a lot of it was drained out. So I'll give this another quick mix. But that looks pretty amazing, if I do say so myself. So let's plate this now. Okay, apparently I've been using this Mickey Mouse spatula till the end of time here. Okay, let's turn off the heat as well. We're good with the stove. Okay, it kind of might be on the very high half of peas to like everything else ratio. This is quite a lot, but I'm okay with that. Again, whenever you get to cook for yourself, you can make it as whatever as you want. You can add more salt, more pepper. You want more shrimp in your rice? Go ahead. It's all on you. You can cook it to your liking, and nobody's gonna say anything. You got other people in your house? Nah. They're not the ones cooking. Let me tell you. If you know what you like it. And you roll with it. Woo! Okay. So we're just about done. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm actually pretty satisfied with that. We'll give it a taste in a bit. I'm gonna let it cool. And actually, shoot. Okay, we're not done. Uh-oh. What does he have planned? How could it possibly get any better? I'll turn the heat back on. We're going to add we're going to make a little sauce for something. If I can just get all the ingredients together. Okay, let's get some soy sauce. Okay, a little bit of oil, just a touch. Let's get some water going. Just a little, again. Splash of water. And also the dark soy sauce weird mixture I prepared, which is again really thick. Great. Come on. Good work. Touch of sesame seed oil. Okay. Give that a good mix. we'll see how this turns out. I'm kind of really just winging this thing. Lower heat, please. Okay. It's kind of weird. It is kind of cleaning the stove or the pan too. But now we want some. I'm making a quick cornstarch and water mixture. If this doesn't turn out the way it should, then that's fine. I already got the fried rice, which is the main course of all this. So again, this is kind of like just a little bit of cornstarch and water. So it's turning into a slurry. I'm just going to toss a few of these in. Okay, I can just do all of them. Ah! Give those a nice coating. I think, come on. Okay, that's better. Tofu's on the side. I'm gonna put this in a separate bowl. I don't want it to touch the paper towel. Oh, there's a stray carrot in here. Okay, we are like 95% done. Excellent. Topping, I don't know, I have some black sesame seeds. I could have toasted these, but whatever. Okay. Let's get a scoop of this. Plenty of peas. Jeez. Who thought it'd be a good idea? Okay. Y'all are coming with me. Everything in the kitchen is just gonna be a mess. But I think that looks pretty good. I think the fried rice turned out really well. Of course, I have yet to taste it. I didn't want to put the now sauced chicken into the paper towel with all the oil. So you're gonna go ahead and move here. Turn on the light. Let's get a spoon and fork going. This kitchen is a mess, but that's okay, I'll clean it up. We will put the peas back in the freezer though. I think that's the only important thing we need. Yep. Excellent work. Good job, everybody. Take this towel off. Spoon and fork. Can I grab a spoon and fork? There they are. I don't have chopsticks. I'm really sad about that. But what can you do? Happy Easter, everybody. We have made fried rice, shrimp fried rice with some fried tofu and double fried chicken thigh and like a glaze. Quick little Asian sesame glaze. That's pretty good too. That's pretty good. It's nice. It's got a little salty flavor, of course, from all the soy sauce and stuff, but it kind of balances out with everything else. I don't know what kind of Chinese restaurant buffet chicken it would closely relate to, but it does kind of remind me of one of those. The tofu still has a little bit of crispiness. It did sit a while, which is kind of sad, but they're still crispy. And then the rice, which has got onions, egg, carrots, peas, a little bit of ginger in there, garlic. It's pretty good. I am like 100% satisfied with how this turned out. The shrimp cooked very well, not too not even rubbery. I would say cooked just right. So I would call this very much a success. Oh boy, that was really stressful too. And that kitchen, I do not want to go back in there because it is a mess right now. There's like bowls and stuff everywhere. And I have like shrimp in my teeth right now. Yeah, it's a mess. Ugh. But I think it was worth it. We have delicious fried rice, a plate full, so we can probably do our best to portion it. I did only cook one chicken thigh, and that's enough for like one meal, as you can see. Maybe two if you don't want to eat all that. But otherwise, like, yeah. I kind of went, when I decided to make fried rice today, I kind of went with portions good enough for one, maybe two people, especially with the rice. That was just like, well, I have leftover rice. Let me make some fried rice out of it. But then the chicken thigh was like, well, I don't want to make too much. And then the tofu, I did want to make regardless of what I made today. And it just kind of went with the theme of fried rice here. I was either going to do this or shrimp tempura, but I tried that Friday. And I'm still learning that, I think. And it's a little difficult, so I didn't want to do that just then. But this is it's actually a really simple dish, but there's a lot of steps to it. But it's just, go through the steps, lay them out. You prep your ingredients, egg, then the shrimp. You can omitting the chicken too, and the tofu is literally just cook the egg, take it out. Cook the shrimp, take it out. Carrots, vegetables, and aromatics, stir that in. Rice, and then add your proteins, your egg and shrimp back, and then it was basically done. So it's definitely a dish I would recommend for those that want something filling and diverse, but not have to like really break a sweat over, because it's actually fairly simple. I probably just overcomplicated it with all these extra steps and stuff. And just explaining it all as I do it real time was a little rough. Let's get one more look, actually, at the rice. Oops. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. A good color to it. Peas and carrots are vibrant. Shrimp is cooked well done. The egg, I was scared it was going to stick to the pan, but the oil did a good job at kind of keeping everything light and fluffy and not non-stick. Probably grab one of these and just hold on to it. Tongs are there, just a mess. There's chicken, like skin from the boneless thigh that's just been sitting. Probably gonna just put that away. And then I have the cornstarch mixture from earlier. So that's, and like, also all of this, I know there were a lot of plates and things on the side, but again, that was for the chicken and the tofu. If you omit that as well, you basically took cornstarch out of the mixture, and you're left with like one pan, just one big pan, the plate for the egg and the shrimp, and all the little small plates for the aromatics and the carrots and peas, and the peas came in the bag. So again, it's relatively simple, And if you make it right, and I believe everyone should have soy sauce in their fridge or pantry. Sesame seed oil, maybe less so. And then if you have some water and brown sugar, you can take some soy sauce and turn it into a darker, thicker soy sauce. You kind of see how that... Oh, that was kind of weird. Whoops. Just kind of flows thicker viscosity. But then this one, see, this is what it was before, where it's nice and liquidy, as regular soy sauce. But the time is 6:35 right now. I've been streaming for about an hour and a half, just as these tend to go. I thought this was going to be relatively quick, and it probably would have been just because, or if it was just rice, darn it. Okay, the tofu lost a little bit of crunch, or at least the big one did. But I still like just eating tofu like that. I think that'll do it for now. Mission success. We made fried rice, and it turned out really good. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. Thank you, Patty, for having a little conversation. Hope everybody has a good work week. I'm going to eat this dinner and then probably clean up for the next 30 minutes. Ugh. But I hope everyone has a good work week. I hope everyone's staying sane, safe, happy, healthy during these self-quarantine times. And I know we got like a estimated date to come back to being in public areas, or like, you know, back to the office. But who knows? Whatever it'll be, again, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy. I do plan on doing this next week. I'll have to dig through my folders in my head of what recipes I can go through. But if anyone has any suggestions, feel free to let me know as well. Otherwise, I think that'll do it. Have a happy Easter, everybody, and I will see you all next week. Thank you for tuning in. Later.